Why was I transferred to so many prisons, and can the US government just send you wherever they want when you're in federal prison? The answer is yes, they can. And my transfer started before I was even sentenced. They took me out of the courtroom, put me in a county jail. Then they transferred me to Pahrump, Nevada, and I was there for a week. And then they transferred me to Seattle SeaTac, and I was there for a month to get a mental evaluation to determine if I was competent to stand trial. I was sent back to Pahrump for a month and then sent back to a county jail in Utah, was Davis County Jail, and I was there for a few weeks. So that happened before I was even sentenced. Once I was sentenced to go to an FCI prison. They had put a management variable on me, meaning that even though I was a white collar, kind of low security inmate, they were able to put me in a higher security prison at FCI Dublin. I actually ended up liking the FCI, so I'm not too upset about that, but I was upset at first. I was there for a year. I was put in the SHU, which is an isolation cell for blogging. People asked, did I have internet access? No, I would send the information home to my husband and he would post it online, and it didn't make the prison look good. They didn't like it. Anytime a prison wants to, they can transfer you wherever they want to. They call it an administrative ship. So for me, they just shipped me to a new prison. When I got shipped, I was taken back to Pahrump, Nevada. Then I was taken to Oklahoma. And then I finally landed in Waseca, Minnesota. I was in Waseca for about 3 years, and then my security status was so low that my case manager said they wanted to send me to a camp. And I wanted to go to a camp. It was at the end of my prison sentence. I wanted to be closer to Utah, where my family lived. So they actually took me out of the prison, dropped me off at a commercial airport because my security status was so low. I didn't even have a guard or anyone with me, an escort. I got off. I flew to California, found a taxi driver. The prison gave me the money for the taxi, and then the taxi driver drove me to the Victorville, California prison camp. And that's where my husband picked me up about 7 months later, and then he had to drive me back to Utah to a halfway house where I spent 2 months. And finally, I was able to go home. I spent almost 5 years total locked up, and I've been home for almost 6.